Hey friends, this is Jamie again. I am doing a sit-down video. I know if some of you have watched my videos before, they've been a little less serious and more fun. So yeah, I thought I would talk about my miscarriage that I had last year. Well, it hasn't been a full year yet. It happened in July, and yeah, I thought this was important for people to hear about, know about, and hopefully if you know somebody who's going through this or they've gone through this, that you can share with them kind of what I went through and what to look for, and these are kind of the new normal for a while. So just know that you're not alone in what you're going through. You know, I've been through it. I know a couple people who have been through it themselves. My immediate family has not had miscarriages. My mom had something that seemed like a miscarriage, but the doctor put her on progesterone and she was able to keep us. Sadly, that wasn't the case for me and my husband. So I'm just gonna kind of go through my notes that I made because this is a hard topic and couldn't really do it without it. So my miscarriage lasted about 2 weeks. It was emotionally painful and it was physically draining, emotionally draining. I was just trying to stay alive, you know? I felt like my whole world had ended. No one I really talked to understood what I was going through. A lot of my friends had children on their first try. You know, I had one friend that had multiple miscarriages, and she luckily just had another baby. But she had 3 miscarriages before that. So people acted like it was no big deal and that it was okay. That it was just like everyday life. Oh, you had a miscarriage. Everybody has those, right? No, not everybody. Some people never had one. So I either wanted to be completely isolated and alone or with people, and that was hard for me to reach out to people and explain what was going on. You know, very few of my friends even knew I was pregnant. And it was hard to even say that I had been pregnant and I needed emotional support. So miscarriage happens in the first month to 3 months of pregnancy typically. I was about 1.5 months along, we think, we're not too sure. So when they did an ultrasound on my uterus, they went inside with like a wand sort of thing, and I had no egg in the embryonic sac, and she told me that my body may have absorbed the egg. Since I did test positive for pregnancy and I took a pregnancy test on my own a couple weeks beforehand and all. And I kind of knew something was wrong when they weren't telling me right away what was going on. So yeah, I had gone in for an emergency doctor's appointment when I had been lightly bleeding, like a dark brown blood. And it had been going on for 2 days. At that point, when it first started happening, I was like, what in the world? But apparently spotting was normal. So, but not this. It just kept going. So they did blood work on me. So they gave me a medication called prednisone to take, and well, they prescribed it. And they said, take this and then come back in like a couple days and we'll see if you're still pregnant and do some blood work. And I should have just called them and said, I don't need to come in for more blood work because I'm still having a miscarriage. Sometimes prednisone will stop a miscarriage and save the baby's life. One of my friends that is a doctor, he said, take the prednisone. It could save the baby, but I should have known that when there wasn't an egg in the sac that there was nothing there. I lost a ton of fluid and a lot of tissue. If I could share this on my picture of my tissue and my panties and my pad on the internet, I would. It was pretty horrific to see what was coming out of me. It was hard when it went on for about 2 weeks. When I started having a miscarriage, I lost about 2 pounds, and apparently that's a sign for miscarriage as well. The doctors told me to use pads and not tampons because they want the lining and everything to come out of your body and not stay there. So I was changing my pad sometimes every 30 minutes because it was that heavy. So luckily I didn't need to have a DNC procedure to help with my miscarriage. A lot of people have to have them because their miscarriage starts to get really bad. So if you are in severe pain or you just don't know what to do, call your gynecologist, an OBGYN, and go to the emergency room. Luckily I didn't have to do that. Sadly I was doing, well, positively, I was doing all the right things while I was pregnant. I was eating all the right food, I was getting exercise, I wasn't having a ton of caffeine, have 1 cup of coffee a day, and no alcohol. I don't smoke, I don't do drugs. So during kind of my miscarriage, I had an emotional breakdown, like serious emotional breakdown after it. It was really bad. My husband and I were very emotionally distant, and nothing he could do was okay. I felt isolated from the world. I was exhausted. I'm still, months later, scared of getting pregnant and having a baby. because I don't have another miscarriage. And from what I hear, that's kind of normal. So another thing I wanted to touch on that I haven't read anywhere, I haven't seen anywhere, is that after you have a miscarriage, that your periods will be shorter. Mine started happening like every, I don't know, 20 days, sometimes less. Now they're just starting to finally lengthen. Before I had a miscarriage and became pregnant, my cycle was every 28 days. So I would ovulate, and then right after I ovulated, my period would start. And for a while, that became my new normal. I hate to say the new normal as a term, but it was, you know. Right now, it's almost been a year. It's probably about 9 months. I'm starting to have a longer period, which is great. I would feel like I just had my period and it was starting all over again. But one of the things I did to move forward and help heal emotionally was to plant a plant and dedicate it to my baby. My husband helped me dig a hole because he knew I didn't have the energy to do that. And we planted a hydrangea together. It's pink and pretty, and it's at my family's lake house. So the other thing is that my OBGYN told me to wait 3 months before trying to have a baby again. I feel like I'm finally at the point where I'm willing to try again. But I think we're happy just having 3 cats and a dog and a garden, you know. So yeah, do what's best for you and listen to your heart, and definitely do what's right for you if you have a miscarriage, and listen to yourself. Stay active if you can, you know, become distracted. Distract yourself from what's going on. Be around friends and family if you can. And remember, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not the only one that's going through this. So hopefully what I've said has helped, and it does get easier as time goes along. Please remember that. This is probably the hardest video I've made. So yeah, I hope you all are having a great week, and that you're staying positive, hopefully having a glass of tea for me. I'm thinking about making a pot of tea right now and going out and digging in the dirt and pulling some weeds, because I need something positive and happy after having this conversation with you all. Remember, I love you. Stay positive. Get some sunshine. And you can get through this. Love y'all. Bye, guys.